Hello, hello. So a lot of the service calls we get when the HVAC unit is not cooling is due often to the capacitor not working. So within your condenser unit in the HVAC system, there is a small capacitor that helps the your HVAC unit start. It helps start the compressor. It helps start also the fan motors, and that capacitor fails. And so a lot of our visits when we go help someone that needs help with a system that's not cooling, we diagnose several components, but one of them is the capacitor. We don't recommend actually you change the capacitor yourself, but if you're interested, yes, that's something that you can do. Most importantly, before you touch your HVAC unit, especially the condenser, it has high voltage, so you need to turn off the power, the circuit breaker for the HVAC unit. And not only that, you have to wait because that capacitor actually stores energy and it can produce a shock if you touch it shortly after turning off the power. Then what you'll need is obviously a screwdriver to open that access panel in the condenser. You need gloves, goggles, and you need a multimeter. The multimeter is going to help you measure the capacitance of that capacitor to see if it's working or not. And once you take out that capacitor, you're going to need to go to a supply house and buy a capacitor essentially that matches the one you have. You can take a photo of the capacitor without having to remove it, go buy the new capacitor and bring it back. So how do you verify that the capacitor is working or not? Very simple, it has a label on it. That label gives you a measure of the capacitance. So you're going to use the multimeter to measure the capacitance. If it doesn't match, that means that the capacitor is not working. It can even show that the capacitance is zero. In which case, yes, the capacitor is the issue. Again, make sure there is no power going to the system. I highly recommend before you touch anything, just take a photo of the existing wiring so that you know what you need to put back together. And so you'll take out the old capacitor and insert in the same place the new capacitor. You may have to play with some electrical wiring cable, but that shouldn't be a big problem. Once you've replaced it, you want to turn back on the machine. And again, you're playing with high voltage and be very careful, please. But put that capacitor inside. Normally, when the capacitor fails, also you hear like a humming sound, or the system is not cooling altogether, even though it started. But that means the compressor is not working, or it may not start altogether. So once you've inserted the capacitor in the same place, the same way, it has to be also the same capacitor as the one you had before. You turn it on. And wait a little bit. If you see the air cooling coming out of the air handler or out of your home vents, that means this is the operation worked. So yes, changing the capacitor can be something you can do yourself, but again, it's dangerous because of the high power electricity that's in the condenser. We don't recommend it. We recommend calling a professional like Sunny Bliss Plumbing Air for your air conditioning needs. But if you're handy and you want to do it, make sure you turn off the power. And after you've turned on the power, you have to wait some time because the capacitor stores energy and you can still get a shock from it. And then you're going to test the capacitance of the capacitor. Some of the symptoms of the AC not working and the capacitor being not working properly is this humming sound, or the system not cooling even though it's running, or the system not running at all. I hope this was helpful, and